But if you're anything like me, you grew up listening to some of the most iconic girl groups of our time. Destiny's Child, Girls Aloud, Pussycat Dolls, TLC. Girl groups have always been a staple in pop music and in the music industry in general. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, please subscribe and join. My name is Kudzai, and on this channel we discuss all things pop culture, music, fashion, all of the above. If you are interested in any of those topics, then please stick around. Other than admiring the insane vocals and choreography, I have always been absolutely obsessed with revisiting the fashion styles of certain girl groups and just seeing the evolution of girl group fashion in general. There's no denying that girl groups have impacted the way we see and wear fashion today, whether it was what they were wearing on stage, off stage, on red carpets, in music videos. I was hooked. I feel like growing up, there's different categories of girls and children in general that get obsessed with certain music groups. I wasn't necessarily in the category of like fawning over boy bands. Like, I liked boy bands here and there, but girl groups were always my thing. So whilst the girls were obsessing over the boys and just admiring all the boy bands, I was busy admiring the coordinated, customized pieces by some of our favorite girl groups. Personally, I don't think we give enough credit and recognition to girl groups. Not only have they influenced the music industry, but they have influenced fashion. That's why today we're going to have a little history lesson on the evolution of girl group fashion. I'm going to split this video into 3 segments. We'll be discussing why it's important for girl groups to have an established style, the evolution of girl group fashion, and we'll even look at some case studies and analyze how past girl groups have styled themselves. If this sounds like something that you're interested in, then please stick around. You might be wondering, why is it important for a girl group to have an established style? Great question, let me tell you. Girl groups have always been important figures for women and children, whether it's them just being a role model or whether it's young girls seeing themselves finally being represented or seeing a personality trait that they want to adopt. Whatever it is, girl groups have always been influential. But I want to tap into the evolution of their fashion and the styles that they have created over the years and how that has not only influenced fashion but has inspired many of us to dress a certain way. When I think of distinctive girl group styles, my mind goes to none other than the Spice Girls. They were the first girl group that I saw that had very distinctive styles and showcased how they strengthened their message of individuality through their fashion style. The Spice Girls were very known for donning looks that expressed themselves and their individuality. For example, Scary Spice and Posh Spice were on completely different ends of style and fashion spectrums, but they still came together. And same with Sporty Spice, Baby Spice, Ginger Spice. Each member of the Spice Girls all had a significant distinctive style. This worked for them because their message was to be who you are. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Don't be ashamed of where you come from. And their message was to be confident in yourself, in your insecurities, in whatever it is. And I think that they marketed themselves really well with that. The general formula for girl group fashion has always been to wear a coordinated outfit. For Spice Girls to kind of reject that rule was pretty iconic and symbolic for them as a girl group and made them stand out amongst their peers. Years and years ago, like before the 90s and stuff like that, like most girl groups would wear like pretty much the same outfit, like, and most bands in general, whether you were a girl band or boy band, it would literally be like copy and paste with the outfits. There wasn't too much individuality going on. But I want to say, like, from the 80s to even now and in recent years, the formula has definitely evolved to coordinated outfits, but with each member of the group being styled slightly differently. The reason that this general formula has worked so well over the years is because when a girl group coordinates their outfits, it showcases solidarity and friendship. This is extremely important for girl groups because for years media have always pitted women against each other and still do. So to see women in like a uniform kind of setting, in a united state, whether it's through their clothing or their lyrics, is very important. It's just expected by society that girls will be catty and fall out and bratty and dramatic. Over the years, girl groups have quickly grew more confident with their styles and they've started to experiment with their looks. You can see this in many K-pop groups today. Traditionally, a lot of K-pop groups wore very uniform outfits. They were still cute, but they were pretty much the same. But over the years, they have gradually become less traditional and more unconventional. Unlike their predecessors that had chose to follow the same formula that had been done many a time, Blackpink have continued to push the creative boundaries in order to stand out amongst their peers. Other than their music and choreography, a big part of Blackpink's USP is their fashion and their styles, and it's probably partly responsible for them being one of the biggest, if not the biggest, girl group in the world. The way they have infiltrated the luxury fashion industry is just exquisite. This is their unique selling point when it comes to their style as a group. I mean, they have a huge influence over the fashion industry and it has led to great things for them. Their influence over fashion is quite monumental. In 2021, Rose became one of the first ever female K-pop star to attend the Met Gala, and each member of the group is associated with French luxury fashion houses including Celine, Dior, Chanel, Saint Laurent. Like, that is impressive. That is hella impressive. I don't really know many girl groups that are doing that. Black girl groups have been at the forefront of countless fashion trends that most of us have taken part in, and they are undoubtedly the blueprint for a lot of girl group fashion styles and trends that we see today. You simply cannot discuss girl group fashion without acknowledging the influence that black culture and black fashion has had in the fashion world for years and years and years. When it comes to the fashion choices of black girl groups, they have always been meticulously crafted to capture the attention of their audience and effortlessly display their uniqueness and creativity. Think the Supremes, En Vogue, SWV, Salt and Pepper. I think it's time to look at some case studies of various ways girl groups have styled themselves over the years and various ways future girl groups can style themselves too. This task of finding various girl groups for this case study section was really hard because there is countless thousands, millions of girl groups that I could have looked at, but I just had to choose the ones that I either connected to the most, related to the most, or had a lot to say about. There's so many other girl groups that I haven't mentioned, but girl, I did not have all day. Much like the Spice Girls, the Cheetah Girls had one message, and that was express yourself, be proud of who you are, be individual. The Cheetah Girls franchise was so monumental. I fear it was the greatest thing that happened to me as a tween. I'm not even kidding. I was obsessed with the Cheetah Girls.
I wear Prada or nada, mama. Nada.
I still am. Like, I am that girl that listens to Cheetah Girls morning, day and night. Like, please, let's not even get it twisted. The Cheetah Girls will forever hold a special place in my heart. But back to the fashion. I was today years old when I learned that they actually wore leopard print and not cheetah print. I don't really know how to feel, to be honest. That is a bit of a shock. to the system because they are the cheetah girls, not the leopard girls. When it came to the cheetah girls fashion, their coordinated animal print looks were just insane. They were mind-blowing to me. In fact, I vividly remember wanting to own the leopard print tracksuit that they wear, you know, when they're saving Toto. And when they sing that song, and like, I don't want to cry, but it's just so emotional to me. Like, the symbolism of them all wearing animal print in different colors was just so important for young girls to look up to, for young girls to just know that like you can find such strong friendship in women. The cheetah girls spearheaded early 2000s fashion trends. They were really the it girls. They were fashion icons, and you can't tell me otherwise. Oh my gosh, I just remembered Bratz. Bratz fashion is a whole discussion. Like, in my opinion, Bratz was the pinnacle of fashion, and I think that's a conversation that we're not yet ready to discuss, but maybe I'll just pin that thought for a future video. I could discuss this topic for years, but I won't today. Fifth Harmony is what happens when a girl group has no sense of direction whatsoever, no style, no style direction at all. No shade to the stylist or whoever was dressing the girls. I loved Fifth Harmony. I think they had amazing songs, but when it came to their style, there's not really a lot I can say about it, to be honest. It was just trash. Like, they may have had one or two cool looks on stage, but Fifth Harmony were not known for iconic looks. I'm sorry. They just, no. Need I say more? I still have this. These women raised me. These women raised me. We all knew this was coming. Destiny's Child is the most fashionable girl group of all time, period. I can't. The looks that were created by Miss Tina Knowles deserve to be in a museum. I would love to visit a museum of all the crafted looks by Miss Tina Knowles. That would make my entire existence. I mean, look at the material. 10, 10, 10s across the board. And even the history behind a lot of these looks, the fact that Miss Tina Knowles had to be the stylist for Destiny's Child because a lot of stylists during that time were not ready or were not trying to style young black girls. Like, that backstory, that history alone is just so beautiful. Well, sad and beautiful. Like, it's a double-edged sword. Like, you're trash for not trying to dress these black girls that are up and coming stars and become arguably the most famous girl group of all time, but also really amazing that Tina Knowles was able to craft such monumental looks that quite literally went down in fashion history. The girls often coordinated their looks all whilst experimenting with different silhouettes, and it just, chef's kiss, it just worked so well. When I think of girl groups in recent years that have been heavily inspired or influenced by Destiny's Child or black R&B girl groups in general, I think of 3LW and Flow. If you don't already know, Flow are a new upcoming girl group that have just been making noise. They are incredible. Not only are their vocals insane, not only are they beautiful, their style, whoever is their stylist, they deserve awards. They deserve a heavy check. They are styling the girls so well. I'm just excited to see more of Flow's looks. Their recent performance at the Summertime Ball in London, their outfits were insane. Like, every single music video, their outfits are insane and memorable, and that is very important for girl groups. If you don't know, All Saints were a 90s British girl band. The 90s British girl group All Saints were responsible for influencing the athleisure trend in British fashion. Their style consisted of cargos, puffer jackets, track pants, and combat boots. The Irish girl band Bewitched were pretty well known for wearing double denim. Seriously, the girlies were always wearing double denim. It was double denim overload. And when I was researching for this video, I actually saw an article about Bewitched fans being mad at Bewitched for not rocking double denim at one of their concerts or shows. I mean, it's not good that they're mad at them, but it's quite like iconic. A member of the group, Adele, credited their looks for saving them from a lot of sexist comments. See what women go through? They intentionally wore denim and baggy clothes so that they wouldn't be subjected to overly sexualization and sexism in the music industry and from the media. We see this time and time again with girl groups, but nothing ever changes. Adele said, and I quote, "We chose the double denim and the trainers so we never had any comments on our looks or what we should have looked like." We cannot discuss girl group fashion without the mention of arguably the greatest girl group of all time and why their signature style is iconic. What was it about TLC that made them stand out from the rest? Let me tell you. During the 90s, most female R&B girl groups adopted a more feminine and glamorous style, whereas TLC were among the many R&B artists that helped usher in a more tomboy, oversized, baggy clothing style. They had some great looks too. They had a great run with their fashion style. TLC would wear all sorts of outfits and you just wanted what they were wearing, you know, and also the confidence that they had whilst wearing these clothes. It was just everything. They had like futuristic looks, tomboy looks, even like soft glam looks. Like they would go all out with their looks. Although their style was great, and we see the influence of their style in today's girl groups, TLC were highly praised for using fashion to promote safe sex. So Left Eye was quite known for wearing a condom on her left eye. The other members would frequently pin condoms to their various outfits. Using condoms as a fashion statement to promote safe sex is genius. We don't talk about this enough, but it's actually really smart. It was such a bold move because during this time a lot of female artists were being sexualized just as they are today. It was very like the opposite of what people expected female artists to be wearing. For them to literally sport condoms on their clothing was very bold and courageous, honestly, and very admirable, because if female artists were being sexualized, people would think, oh, you flaunting condoms around on your outfits is most likely going to sexualize you more. They chose to wear condoms as accessories so that fans could openly discuss safe sex. This was during the AIDS epidemic, so people were very like hush hush about sex. This fashion statement would ultimately make them pioneers. They displayed female empowerment in a way that we had never seen before. Let me preface with, I love the Sugababes. They were my representation growing up. I just have to say that before I kind of go ahead with what I'm gonna say about their style. I loved them growing up, but girl, what was this? What was going on with Sugababes' style? They like never really had a style. Like similar to Fifth Harmony, there was no direction. A lot of their looks, I'm just like, what was the weather? What was going on? Some of the looks were fashion crimes, and I guess it was very representative of British 2000s fashion. But come on, like as a girl group, I would just think that there would be a little smidge more thought put into their looks, no? Okay, don't get me wrong, they did have some cute moments, but they just didn't really stand out as a band for me in terms of their style. Music was fabulous, vocals were great, but the fashion just, I never really got it. I never really clicked with it. I never really aspired to dress like a Sugababe. The tried and true method of coordinating your looks to a specific aesthetic or color palette, and overall the homogeneous style works so well for girl groups. Whether it has been modernized to fit the trends of today, it still just hits. Like, there's nothing like a traditional, sick, coordinated girl group moment. Like, the crowd literally goes wild for it. Like, everyone eats it up. You, me, we all eat it up. This isn't to say other methods of fashion or style won't work, but if you don't have any direction with your style as a girl group, I don't know what to say. Like, it might not end well. I don't want to be shady or negative, but come on. I think the most important thing as a girl group, other than the music of course, is to be consistent with your style. Whatever your style is, even if it is like eclectic and messy and all over the place, like, if you are consistent with your style, you'll stand out, you'll become memorable. I know it's not all about the fashion, it's not all about the appearance and the aesthetics. Of course it's about their music, but there's no harm in perfecting your image. There's no harm, just like any other brand that has to promote themselves. If you're in a girl band or if you're a solo artist, perfecting your image is very, very important. It's important so that fans can establish who you are. It's important that brands can establish who you are, and these things can come together. You can just be like amazing. It can just be an explosion of amazingness. I will close with this. The power that all of these women that I have mentioned in this video have in the fashion world cannot be overstated, and will not on my channel. If any future girl groups happen to stumble across this video, or if any current girl groups, my not so professional advice to any future girl group is consistency. Consistency is key, and I shall end it there. It's really funny that I've just ended it with consistency is key, and I have not been consistent on my YouTube channel. That is hilarious. Anyway, that is the end of this video, guys. If you enjoy me rambling about fashion, music, pop culture, trendy stuff, then please click the subscribe button. Keep up to date with me on my YouTube channel, on TikTok. If you have any ideas of any future videos that you want to see me do, then let me know down below. I'm really, really happy with this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So until next time, peace out, Girl Scout.